Okay, as we begin to look at psychographics, we'll begin to dig a little bit deeper into the makeup of the group that make up the target area. And again, this is Route 224, Route 7, plus a 2-mile radius surrounding that center point. So let's begin with the overall concerns. There are different headings that we have, and then I'll tell you what the overall concern, or the highest concern in that heading is. The first one is called Basics. And under Basics, maintaining personal health was the highest concern under that group. The second general heading is called Family, and the highest concern there was dealing with teen and child problems. The third heading is called Community, and the highest concern there was finding good schools. The next category is Hopes/Dreams, and the highest concern there was achieving long-term financial security. But it's interesting to note that under this heading, there was a concern called Finding Time for Recreation and Leisure, which was the second highest. And the reason I say that is because that was significantly higher than the national average, that finding time for recreation and leisure. And that's actually the second time this has shown up in, I mentioned that in the first video as well. So that's an interesting dynamic of this group. And then the last general heading called Spiritual/Personal, the highest concern of the folks in this area are dealing with stress. And again, that was higher than the national average. So there seem to be some things that are surfacing in this particular group in this target area. Now the Census Bureau recognizes some main, what they call household segments. And so what I'd like to do is talk to you about the top 3 household segments that are found in this target area, in the study area that we looked at. The top group is called Established Empty Nesters, which represents 25% of the people in this area. These are the people that are older in age. Their faith involvement is about the same as the national average. Their primary concerns are adequate food, personal health, health insurance, and companionship. Those are the primary concerns of the established empty nesters. The church programs they would prefer, if they did go to church, are spiritual retreats, food resources, and care for the terminally ill. So that's established empty nesters, the highest percentage of people in the study area. The second highest percentage is a group called Suburban Midlife Families. And this represents 20% of the people in the study area. And these are people that are 35 years old to 69 years old. And they're above average in the median income. Their faith involvement is somewhat below the national average, but their belief in God is high. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there. Their primary concerns are child care, time for recreation and leisure, which we talked about just a few minutes ago, retirement opportunities, and parenting skills, as well as long-term financial security. So again, their primary concerns of the suburban midlife families, which represent 20% of the people, child care, time for recreation and leisure, retirement opportunities, parenting skills, and long-term financial security. And the church programs they would prefer, if they did go to church, are divorce recovery, marriage enrichment, and parent training. Okay. Now the third highest household segment represented in the study area is what they call cautious and mature. This represents 11% of the people in the area, and these are people that are 55 plus year olds. And it's interesting to note that their primary media preference is the local newspaper. And this was, again, significantly higher than the national average. So primary media preference, local newspaper. Their faith involvement is above the national average. Their primary concerns mainly had to do with health, better health care, personal health, health insurance, and finding a good church. This showed up as their primary concerns as well. The church programs they prefer are active retirement programs, care for the terminally ill, Bible study and prayer groups, and adult theological discussion groups. Okay, so that's the cautious mature. So the top 3 household segments again are established empty nesters, suburban midlife families, and cautious and mature.